Hey everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. Do I know anything about the Pokemon card market? Probably not. That is why we're going to test my Pokemon card knowledge and I hope you guys can play along. All we got to do is look at two Pokemon cards and compare their prices, and I have to pick which one is going to be the more expensive of the two. Seems easy enough. How hard could it be? So let's get started. First option, we got ourselves Charizard V Full Art from Brilliant Stars versus Charizard GX Full Art. Just a promo, not from a specific set. So it looks like we got a Charizard versus Charizard comparison. Two full art cards. If you're wondering, I do not have the art in front of me. All I have are the actual cards and what sets they came in. Although I do know these two cards, I know the Charizard GX for sure. I don't know the Charizard V that well. Two full art. I feel like the Charizard V was on my top 10 most expensive cards from Brilliant Stars, so I feel like I should know it. I think it was going for like $50, but that was weeks ago. Brilliant Stars is the latest set. And honestly, I think the prices on the Charizard V has dropped significantly. It's probably going for like half what it was going for on release day. So I'm going to say that the Charizard V is probably like $25. I'm pretty confident the Charizard GX is like $30 to $40. So I'm going to say the Charizard GX is the more expensive of the two. Results are in, and the Charizard V Full Art is currently going for $45 in a near mint condition, and the Charizard GX is going for only $30 in a near mint condition. That's probably a steal. I can't believe the Charizard V Full Art is actually still that expensive. I don't know. I guess you can't really count out Charizard. I think if we were to do this exact same quiz in 2 months, the price of the Charizard V from Brilliant Stars would probably drop to like maybe $25 or $20. So let's keep on going. Next comparison, we got ourselves Gengar Prime Triumphant versus Umbreon Prime from Undaunted. Two Prime cards. I missed the first question, so can I even get one right, or else this is going to be a really embarrassing video. I don't know the Prime cards that well. Versus Gengar and Umbreon, two really popular Pokemon, both Prime cards. Maybe it's because Evolving Skies is fresh in my memory, but it's pushing me towards Umbreon. I feel like Umbreon is just like a little bit more popular as a Pokemon than Gengar, although it's probably like really close. I'm just gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna say that the Umbreon Prime is the more expensive of the two. All right, looks like the Gengar Prime is currently going for $65 in near mint condition, and the Umbreon Prime is going for $80. So we finally got a point on the board. Moving on to the next question, we got ourselves Gyarados EX 123 from Breakpoint. Oh man, I don't even have the card art, so I can't even tell you what this card looks like, although I think I have a pretty good guess. I think it's like the full art Gyarados EX with like the other Pokemon in them. And then we got Pikachu EX XY124. I know this one for sure. I have this card inside my collection. Actually, I have both of these cards inside my collection, I'm pretty sure. Do I know what their prices are right now? The Pikachu EX. I think a couple of months ago, the last time I checked, it was going for like $80 in near mint condition. A lot of people are trying to get this card in PSA 10. If you get this card in a PSA 10, it's probably worth well over $1,000. The Gyarados EX, you know, it used to go for like $10 or $20, but then the pandemic happened, and I think it goes for like $50 nowadays. But I know prices have fluctuated so much. I'm gonna, once again, go with my gut and based off of what I know of these two cards, because I have these cards inside my collection, so I feel like it would be embarrassing for me if I got this question wrong. I'm gonna go with the Pikachu EX. I think it's more expensive than the Gyarados EX. Results are in. The Gyarados EX is currently going for $30, and the Pikachu EX is going for $50. Two in a row. This is too easy. Doesn't get much easier than this. Next up, we got ourselves some really expensive cards. We got the 1999 first edition PSA 9 Charizard versus the 1999 first edition PSA 10 Blastoise. I'm going to be embarrassed if I lose this one. well, maybe I don't, because I actually don't know the prices of these cards off the direct top of my head. I know the Charizard in a PSA 9 could have gone for like probably like $45,000, $50,000 at like the peak of the pandemic, at the peak of the time when Pokemon hype was happening. The PSA 10 Blastoise, I think, goes for like $35,000, maybe $40,000. So I feel like the PSA 9 Charizard is still more expensive than the PSA 10, because the only difference between these two cards is the grade, right? The PSA 10 Charizard would definitely be more expensive. So I think this one has to be like really close. The PSA 9 Charizard or the PSA 10 Blastoise. I'm gonna go with my gut again, because that's been going pretty well so far. I have looked at the prices on these cards before, but that was like months ago, so I don't know like right now. I'm gonna go with the Charizard. I think the Charizard is probably like still more expensive than the Blastoise. They're from the exact same set. If prices go up and decline at the same rate, then I think the PSA 9 Charizard will still end up being more expensive than the PSA 10 Blastoise. All right, looks like I'm completely wrong. The PSA 9 Charizard is currently going for right around $20,000, and the PSA 10 Blastoise is apparently going for $33,000. That is super shocking. Just really goes to show how much the Charizard prices have really tanked over like the last couple of months. Anyone who bought like a first edition base set Charizard like 6 months ago, they're looking at some serious losses right now. Prices on those vintage cards have definitely declined quite a bit. The people that are holding the PSA 10, they're probably not going to sell them from their collection, but even the 10 prices have definitely declined. If there was a first edition base set PSA 10 Charizard on the open market, like at a high-end auction, I don't think it'll reach anywhere near the prices that it reached like 6-10 months ago when Pokemon hype was at its absolute maximum. So yeah, I'm not surprised that I lost that one, but I think it could have been definitely close. Next up, we got ourselves Mewtwo Gold Star in a PSA 10, so another PSA graded comparison, versus a Mew Gold Star in a PSA 10. Which one of these two cards is more expensive? Oh man, I don't know. The Gold Star cards are all really expensive. This one's gonna be close. I can at least remember the art on each of these cards, and I gotta say, between what can I go off of? They're both really, really gosh darn popular, so it's gonna be close. But I have to go with my gut, and I think the Mew art is better looking than the Mewtwo. I know that's a terrible comparison, but I mean, like, what else do I gotta go on? I do not keep track of Gold Star prices. So I'm gonna go with the Mew Gold Star. I'm gonna say that one is the more expensive of the two, just because I like the artwork on the Mew Gold Star just a little bit more. It's definitely a cooler card. The Mew Gold Star is currently going for $6,500, and the Mewtwo Gold Star is currently going for $5,000. Wasn't even close. Totally knew that one. That was, oh my, who am I kidding? Pure luck. Moving on to the next one, we got ourselves Bianca Full Art from Boundaries Cross. I don't think I have this card inside of my collection. Ah man, that's an old card. Full Art Trainer, probably one of the older ones. And we got ourselves Cynthia Full Art from Ultra Prism. That one at least I know. As a Full Art Trainer collector, I feel like I should know a little bit more about these. I don't have the Bianca inside of my collection. I know I have the Cynthia inside of my collection. I think the Cynthia Full Art is going for like right around $80 maybe. And the Bianca Full Art, I know that one's one of the older one from like the XY era, maybe even a little bit older. Boundaries Cross is a pretty old set. I haven't seen it in years. So I think some of the more modern Full Art Trainer cards are actually the more expensive one. The vintage ones, outside of a couple, most of them are pretty darn cheap. So I'm gonna go with, once again, my gut, and I'm gonna say the Cynthia Full Art from Ultra Prism is just more expensive than the Bianca. I think Bianca, I'm gonna just throw out a guess in the dark. I'm gonna say Bianca is like a $40 to $50 cards, and Cynthia is like an $80 cards. All right, answers are in. The Bianca Full Art is currently going for a whopping $100, and the Cynthia Full Art from Ultra Prism is currently going for $85. So I was at least right on the Cynthia Full Art, the card that I have, so I at least know that one. Bianca Full Art going for $100, that is really shocking. That must have been like a significant price jump over like the last 6 or 10 months when I wasn't really looking at this card. So wow, that is an expensive Full Art Trainer card. I probably need to be adding that to my collection. That's pretty darn ridiculous. Man, I feel like I should just do coin flips on these because that would probably give me about like the same amount of right answers as whatever educated guess that I'm currently doing. But this quiz was really meant to be like super hard, so I think like there's some definite trick questions in here. Okay, we're moving on to the next one. We got ourselves Umbreon VMAX Alt Art. I know that one for sure. We got Lugia Neogenesis Lugia, not the first edition, so this is just an unlimited Lugia from Neogenesis. Okay. The Umbreon VMAX is currently going for right around, I would say like $300, $350. So I know that one for sure. Now, the Lugia from Neogenesis, okay, this is not first edition. I don't know the price on the unlimited version. If it's first edition, it's going to be way more expensive than the Umbreon VMAX, but this is the unlimited version. I'm gonna bet you this one's a trick one. I bet you the Umbreon VMAX is more expensive because I think most people would select the Lugia from Neogenesis as a no-brainer, but I don't think that's right because the unlimited version is actually pretty darn cheap. I know the first edition is super expensive, but for a lot of older cards, the unlimited version is actually pretty affordable, even in near mint condition, just because a lot of collectors want their cards in first edition. You know, they want their cards for that first edition stamp because that just is so much more meaningful to a lot of collectors. So I'm gonna go and say this one's probably a trick one. I mean, like $350 for the Umbreon VMAX is already pretty high. So I think that one's gonna be the more expensive of the two. All right, the results are in. The Umbreon VMAX is currently going for $330 in near mint condition, and the Lugia from Neogenesis is currently going for $250. That's about right. I know the unlimited Lugia is actually pretty darn affordable. I mean, $250 is still really expensive, but not that ridiculous for a vintage card, especially for Lugia, because that card in first edition is going for, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars. So if you don't care too much about it being the unlimited version, you can get a very cool looking vintage card inside of your collection, and it doesn't surprise me. But the Umbreon VMAX being super expensive, that is really cool. I mean, not a lot of modern Pokemon cards go for hundreds of dollars like that. So even modern, beating out some serious Goliath from vintage. All right, next question up. And our final one, so let's see if I can do better than a coin flip. I think that's gonna be my goal for today. We got ourselves Celebi from Skyridge, which is, I think, the chase card from Skyridge, versus Charizard from Expedition. I feel like most people would pick Charizard automatically because, come on, Charizard's gotta beat Celebi, right? Both of these are E-Series set. I know Skyridge is more scarce than Expedition. Are there really gonna be more Celebi collectors than Charizard collectors though? That's gonna be the hard one. You know, do I go with Charizard because you never underestimate Charizard? That's my quote. Or do I go with Celebi? I don't know the prices of these two off the top of my head. Not at least like how am I supposed to know what the near mint condition of an ungraded Celebi versus a Charizard is? Okay, I'm gonna go once again and say I'm gonna go with Skyridge Celebi just because Skyridge is significantly more rare than Expedition, and I think once again this is probably going to be like one of those trick comparison because I think most people would like slam down and say it's got to be Charizard just because Charizard is usually more expensive. But in this scenario, I know the Celebi is super expensive, so I'm going to go with that one. I think the Celebi goes for like $600 and the Charizard, if I'm right, would probably go for like $400. So it would be a really close fight. But I'm gonna go with Celebi, locking it in. Results are in. We got ourselves Celebi from Skyridge currently going for $800 in near mint condition, ungraded. And we got ourselves the Charizard from Expedition going for $500. Charizard Expedition, the Charizard losing out to Celebi. So my final score is 3 wrong and 5 correct. We beat out the coin flip. If I had done a coin flip on all of these choices, I probably would have gotten 4 wrongs and 4 rights. So we barely beat out a coin flip. That just goes to show you that, man, like I need to like, do I need to know these cards prices off the top of my head at all time? Probably not, but this is cool. It makes me a little bit more aware on like where some of the card market are currently at, because some of these prices are super surprising. The first edition Charizard was definitely the most shocking to me. It's really crazy that this card used to be going for like $45,000, $50,000 asking price, and nowadays people are selling it for like $20,000. Like that's a massive drop over the last couple of months. So that's really insane how the Pokemon card market has shifted. I think we got to do this again. I think that was a lot of fun. Let me know what your guys' scores were, and I will definitely keep on doing this. I think we're trying to get this release into an actual app or game. A friend of mine is currently developing it, and I think this is super cool. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.